what Sam Presti brings to the table. He's an elite executive. We understand that. But when are we going to close the deal?
For Cason Wallace to go here, that's a draft night surprise. What's interesting is his defensive upside. He could grow into the best defender in this draft.
I think he's the safest pick in the lottery because you know exactly what you're getting. He's a complete guard.
You know, you guys, over the last couple of years or so, I've come to realize that there's really three constants in life that nobody can seem to avoid. And well, it seems like those three constants are death, taxes, and a controversial Oklahoma City Thunder lottery pick. Because with Oklahoma City actually trading up in this year's draft to select Kentucky guard Cason Wallace with the 10th overall pick. And sure, while I've seen plenty of Thunder fans out there that are more than excited for this acquisition, there's also plenty of them that absolutely despise this move. And to be honest with you guys, very similarly to the reactions that we saw from OKC's prior selections and guys like Josh Giddey and Jalen Williams, I just don't think some of you are fully realizing what OKC might have up their sleeve this season. But if you guys are looking for more draft and offseason content, don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications to never miss another NBA video as we slowly approach the 2024 season. Okay, so to get back on topic with the Oklahoma City Thunder, this was a team going into the offseason and more particularly the draft that was looking to only build on the rotation that exceeded every expectation that was put on them in the year prior. I mean, going from being projected to have the second least amount of wins in the entire league last season to being one win away from a playoff appearance didn't just open the eyes of many people across the league, but it also kind of served as a statement in saying that they're already shifting out of this rebuild stage even faster than we could have anticipated. And then, of course, going into this year's draft with yet another lottery pick at Sam Presti's disposal, most Thunder fans had seemed to have hoped out there that they would try to address the weak point in this team last season if you had to choose one, which was obviously the front court. And I mean, well, as most of you guys know at this point, what does Sam Presti end up doing? He doesn't just take a backcourt player, but he trades up to do so, further adding on to what might be the most overpacked backcourt room I've seen on a team in a while. And yes, while it probably doesn't initially make sense to add Cason Wallace to a room already filled with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams, Aaron Wiggins, Tre Mann, I could keep going if I wanted to, but some of you also have to realize that the Oklahoma City Thunder don't necessarily play a style of basketball that is quote-unquote normal in the NBA at this point. And well, I really think that Cason Wallace might be perfect for what they are trying to do. Because when you actually try to sit down and analyze the type of player that Cason Wallace showcased to us in his one season at Kentucky last year, he is the exact type of player that Oklahoma City has been both drafting and developing ever since they hit this reset button, which almost by definition it seems is an above average defender who can operate both on and off the ball in specific situations. And Cason Wallace, yeah, he's literally everything that we just mentioned in the body and ability of a combo guard. I mean, really, in one sense of looking at this, Cason Wallace reminds me a lot of Lu Dort. Except when you're talking about Cason Wallace, he's arguably the best on-ball and perimeter defender to come out of this entire class, and his even further expanded offensive capabilities really seem like they're going to fit in seamlessly with the rest of this rotation. And with saying that, it's actually funny to think about this because in an interview before he was even selected to the Oklahoma City Thunder in this draft, Cason Wallace actually said that he models his game most around Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Is there a player in the NBA that you maybe model your game after?
Yeah, a Kentucky guard, Shai. Like the way he plays with pace, he creates his own shot. Looks like a team player to me.
Now, obviously, while it seems just a bit extreme to compare Cason Wallace to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander before he even takes a step on an NBA court, I'd also think that you're just a tad naive if you say that you don't see any comparisons between the two styles of play. I mean, as you can see from the film, he's a guy who is more than capable of creating his own offense really at all three levels of the floor. He also constantly uses this creativity and quickness to his advantage by being able to facilitate and find opportunities for his teammates, and also getting back into the essence of him actually being a combo guard. There's plenty of examples from his college days as well where he absolutely thrived in off-ball and wing situations, whether it was finding spot-up looks or even driving to the paint. And yes, while I do also know that some of you are going to say that the numbers from Cason Wallace's freshman season don't necessarily stick out as as being from a guy who some did label as the most NBA-ready guard in this entire draft class. But I mean, Oklahoma City fans should probably know this more than anybody else, that high-level scoring is definitely not their top priority right now. But instead, that is reserved for finding the right pieces to both finalize this rotation and fit into their unique style of basketball. But obviously, the question that a lot of people have is, where exactly is he going to fit in? Now honestly, the current roster composition of the Oklahoma City Thunder heading into the next season is one of the more unique ones in my eyes in the entire NBA. Because again, despite what some people would consider out there an imbalance of skill between backcourt and frontcourt players on this team, you also definitely need to take into consideration that positionless basketball is really the name of their game. I mean, you all saw this for the majority of the 2023 season. Their offense is predicated on high-level ball movement, constant off-ball player movements, and not to mention almost non-stop cutting to the rim at almost any given point. And with this style of offense, which I think it's also pretty clear Cason Wallace showcased in college that he could definitely excel in, whether it's him potentially needing to operate the offense if, say, he's sharing the backcourt with either Lu Dort or Jalen Williams, or even if it's him needing to be in an off-ball situation if he's back there with either Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Josh Giddey, he can do it all, again, very similarly to everybody that we just mentioned. I mean, if you just take a second to look at Oklahoma City's most consistent starting lineup in the 2023 season, they were running what some would consider 4 guards in their starting rotation. And I honestly hate even classifying them as guards, but that's the thing about this team. Because sure, while the rather small size and build of Cason Wallace is obviously going to limit him to a primary backcourt position, being able to implement him and find different strategies within their current rotation is obviously not going to be too difficult for Sam Presti given their almost unmatched versatility. And then even to think that Oklahoma City is essentially bringing in 2 top 10 picks with the long-awaited return of Chet Holmgren as well on top of what they did last season. Even though they've already surprised a ton of people in these past couple of months, I think we're going to be even more surprised to see what they can accomplish in the 2024 campaign. But of course, we'll just have to wait and see. Regardless though, you guys, I am also extremely curious to hear what you have to think about OKC's new rookie in Cason Wallace, or even their second round selection in Keontae Johnson. So please be sure to let me know in the comments, what are your expectations for either of them going into this upcoming season, and how necessarily do you think they're going to fit into this current rotation? But also, I just wanted to say thank you so much to each and every one of you out there for watching. I appreciate you all more than anything. You all know this, and I will see you guys in the next video.